80-20-365, a time management system to help you achieve your goals and dreams in 2021 and beyond. We all have the same amount of time. Our results depend where we invest it. Welcome to Living Your Life Well Planned, the 80-20-365 success system with its inventor, Adam Vincent Gilmer. I'm Gene Velitis, your host. And as you can see, welcome to episode 49. And as we always like to say, right off the top of every single one of these podcasts or video podcasts, if you're watching on Adam's website, make sure you order your daily planner. This training is absolutely free because we want you to be successful, but you need your daily planner because it really is your GPS to get through this course. And like I always say, it's going to become like your cell phone. When when you misplace your daily planner, believe me, you'll get into panic mode. Now, also on the site, because of the previous episodes that we've been doing that you've been enjoying, also go to the bank system on Adam's website. This is really how to crack the code. It's the language of direct selling. It's the language of multi-level marketing, so you can really communicate with prospects and people who you would like to help become successful. Just go in there, check out Bank. It's everything you need, along with the daily planner, to make your business successful and to really increase sales like you've never seen before. Well, on the next couple of episodes here, we're going to be inviting some of the most successful people in direct selling to give you some coaching, give you some free coaching, and to really help you get your business launched. How to avoid some of the pitfalls. We'll take you from your first 24 hours to your first month. And then we're going to take a look at your first half year in your business and your first year in your business. Now, everybody on this phone call, from our leader, Adam Vincent Gilmer, has been in this industry and they've been through everything. So they're going to be able to coach you and give you some really, really good advice. So you won't generally maybe fall into some of the mistakes people do. You know, there were a lot of people in sales who I like to call are unconscious competence. They just seem to know what to do, but that's only a very, very small percentage. It's like anything. If you want to learn how to drive a car, you take lessons. You wouldn't just jump into a car. I mean, we've seen people in our industry who are doctors, who are airline pilots, and they come in and they fail. And why do they fail? Because this is brand new and you need to get some training. Fortunately, you've stopped at a website where the training is absolutely free. All we ask is you get the daily planner to keep track of things, and it's really going to work for you. All right, episode 49, and our guest today, a couple of guests we've had in previous episodes. Jeffrey Gall is back here. Sherry Sharman is here. We're also welcoming for the first time, her first appearance here on 80-20-365, Kathleen Radu. So welcome everybody back to the podcast and the video podcast. It is my pleasure to have everybody here. These next four episodes are going to be really, really hot. First of all, Adam, episode 49. Our subject today is you've just joined Adam's business, or you've just joined Jeffrey's business, or Sherry's business, or Kathleen's business. And you know what, Adam, I'm going to let you summarize everything at the end of this episode, but I just kind of want you to set things up, and then we'll go around the table, as I like to say. In this episode, how do I get started? You know, I've seen the presentation, I've talked to you, I've made a committed decision to get involved in your business, but you know what? Again, I'm looking for leadership and I'm going to pay attention to what you say. My mind is wide open. How do I get started? What's the first 24 hours look like? What's the first week look like? Like what do I do? What do I avoid? How do I get started?
Love the question. Good morning or good evening, everybody, for wherever you're watching around the world. And the reason why we put this incredible panel together is because, everybody, although everybody's successful in this business, we've all got different ways of how we, want somebody to emulate the successes that we've had. And for me, it's very, very simple. I like to get people on a specific plan. And, I've got like your first, 7 days, 21 days, first month. Being in the business, what you got to do. The biggest thing I like to do, and I'm sure my other partners here on the line will have their point of views from their perspectives. But the biggest thing I like to make sure is, one, somebody has the right passion for getting the business started. And the second thing is making sure that they got a serious list of contacts. It's one thing somebody comes on and says, let me go get the, the starter pack, or let me go get the planner, or this, that, and the other. But the big thing is you've got to have contacts to go after. And I find that the majority of the people who get started in the business, who become successful, are people who have an ongoing list of prospects that they'd like to make, third-party introductions to. And Gene, that's the number one failure I see in the direct sales industry, network marketing industry, and in our business, is that people come on and they go after like their, best friends, mom, dad, significant other, sister, brother, maybe, and totally do not take the time to plan and put together a list of people that are successful, people that are already in business, successful, maybe people that have been successful before but have fallen from grace and are looking for a way to get back. And then, people that are saying, man, they're just sick and tired of their job. They want something new to do, make a second, maybe even a third income. And then maybe some of the people that are interested in the products. But for me, that's the number one thing. The number one thing is making sure that the new person starting has enough prospects so that we can be introduced to their hot list. And their hot list isn't like, oh, they look hot. Their hot list is a business person that is serious about success, serious about, building a future, retirement plan, serious about making something happen in their lives. For me, that's number one. And I'm pretty sure the rest of the group will have theirs. But for me, that's number one.
Great. Now, if I copy exactly what you do, or if I do exactly what you say, is that what we call in the industry duplication?
Well, duplication, it's one thing to say copy and do. I know a lot of people that are just great actors, right? They can just do the lines and pull it off. But really and truly, duplication comes into effect when a person's actions turn out to be results. And that's what duplication is. So it's not just like getting up in the morning and planning. It's actually going and doing the workout. It's actually going and contacting people saying, hey, listen, I got this great friend, Gene, you might want to meet, or Sherry Sharman, or Jeff, or Kathleen, or whatever the case is, and actually doing the work. Because, sometimes you do the same work and the results are different. What I mean is somebody doesn't join the business. And you can't say duplication is, oh, well, you know what? I went through the motions. No, duplication is getting the same results that your upline success line or somebody else has gotten, actually delivering the actions into returnable results. And that shows up as, sponsoring new people into the business, becoming executive, building, so on and so forth.
Yeah, boy, that's a really great distinction. Hey, well, listen, Kathleen, her first appearance here on 80/20/365, Living Your Life Well Planned. So, Kathleen, I'm going to go to you first, and welcome officially to being a member of the podcast. So, somebody has just joined Adam's business. Somebody's just joined your business.
Mm-hmm.
When you sit down with that new person, how do you tell them to get started? What's that first 24 hours all about? What's that first week? What do they need to do? As importantly, what do they need to avoid?
Okay, great. Well, it's so great to be here. Thank you so much, Adam, for inviting me to be on the podcast today. I think the first thing, is knowing your why. For me, sitting down with somebody, knowing their why are they here? What is their desired outcome of joining once you've found the right company. And I know that, if we don't have a why, it's like not having a plan. It's not like having a roadmap. You have to have something inside of you that's saying, this is why. When I started 27 years ago in the industry, I had 2 young kids. I found myself as a single mom. I had a huge mortgage. My why at that point was just to make some income and to pay the bills. Never looked back after 27 years, but that was my why. And so when we can determine what the why is, and we can determine what you're willing to do to actually get to that dream that you have, then it's easy then to lay out a plan when you know what your why is, what your commitment level is. And I think the other thing is, if you write down, I usually get people who start with me in business right away to write down what amount of time they're willing to commit to building their business every single week. What does that look like? Are you going to build it in the cracks of your day? Are you going to have scheduled times that you're going to build on? So those are really, really important things. Then write down the 5 goals and dreams that you have that you want to achieve in the next 30, 60, 90 days. So that's really big. Once you decide a goal, that helps you stay focused, and it helps you develop the plan that Adam was talking about. When you have your goal set down, then you can make a plan and that roadmap to be successful. And one thing that we know about this business is that persistence is the path to success, but consistency is the vehicle that you will arrive in. And when you are persistent and consistent, that's when all of those things that you have set up as goals and your plan and your roadmap all come together, and you have the success that you're wanting to have when you join. Because everybody wants to join a network marketing company and be successful. Nobody wants to join it to fail.
Exactly. One of the key words that I picked up on what you were saying right there is decide. And way back a million months ago in episode 3, Adam and I were talking about the fact that you can go all the way through the Harvard Business School, but nobody ever teaches you two things. One, how to make money, and two, how to make a decision. So that my big takeaway from your answer right there is make a decision. But really, if you're going to make a decision, we always say make a committed decision. So let's go over to Jeffrey as we move around the table right now. First 24 hours, Jeffrey, you're a star in this industry. What do I do?
Well, thank you, Gene, and good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on the part of the world you're tuning in. It's a great question, because how you get started tends to set the temperature or where you're going to end up out of all of this. So what I tell people first off is this is a business. So you have to think of it as a business. This isn't a hobby. Hobbies, we all have hobbies because we enjoy them, but they tend to cost us money. A business is designed to make us money. And so when I look at how you get started, it's really, if it's a product company, it's what's that initial product package you're going to get started with. You want to make sure you have everything you need for massive success. So you don't want to buy maybe one product, maybe you want to get a better package that's actually going to give you a variety of products, because we talk about what we use and what we're comfortable with. And by the way, you mentioned the word duplication. In this industry, the people you're talking to, they're going to do what you did. It's like having children. It doesn't matter what you say. It's what you do. They watch you and they emulate or duplicate what you do as parents. Your team does the same thing. They're going to emulate and duplicate. So if you start with the right package to get yourself positioned and off to a fast start and educated on a suite of the product, that will be duplicated through your team. The second thing is again, this is a business. And I tell people, and it kind of dovetails into what Adam said, is who are you going to talk to? You need a list, right? You need either your social network that's online, or if you're from the old school, you have a list of people, or your contacts in your phone. And I tell people, always think this first. I'm starting a brand new business. Who do I want as my first 5 or 6 vice presidents? So that doesn't mean that's the busboy in the restaurant, because he or she is very easy to talk to. That means that's the owner of the restaurant or the president of the company, that the owner of a company. You'll know if it's a good call based on how you feel in the gut. People tend to get a little more anxious and nervous when they're sponsoring up, so to speak. So I always tell people, surround yourself, which is traditional business, surround yourself with people better than you, stronger than you, bigger social networks than you, and have them as that key foundation leadership. So that would be a couple of the main things that I would throw out to complement what our other 2 speakers have already shared.
Yeah, great advice. It's going to be interesting. Everybody's talking about having this list of vice presidents, having this list of contacts, and coming up in our next episode, episode 50, you may not understand what this means, but we're going to be talking about prospecting versus puking, direct selling on people. And if you're confused by that, it'll all make sense in our next episode. Let's move over to Sherry. Sherry, somebody's joined your business. It's the very first day. I want you to answer part of a different question that our other 2 guests haven't really hit on quite yet. But first of all, in your organization, how do I get started with you? But as importantly, what do I avoid doing in my first week as well? If you could address those two.
Thank you, Gene. And, I'm honored to be with this panel because I just figured it out. There's over 100 years of combined experience that you're getting from all of us, and I want to take you back because I was a preschool teacher, single mom when I got started in this industry. So I had never been, in the whole social marketing realm. And the person who got me involved in the business said, make a list. And I did that, but I only made 10 names at that time. And what was kind of disappointing was all 10 of them, my mom was number one, all 10 of them said no. And if I wouldn't have had a list to go on to the number 11th, which the 11th persons did say yes, and you're asking what to avoid, is I had to avoid a lot of negativity when I first got started. And, and I didn't have all the answers. And, Jeffrey always talks about a system called peak and pass, create the curiosity and then pass that to your upline, get the person, which I didn't do that in my first 10 people. And when I started having success was when I started using my upline more to be able to have them answer the questions. I could edify the person that's above me to be able to help answer the questions. And, I think that, when Kathleen said the why, thank goodness I had a big why. My son was 8 years old. I was a single mom. I was broke, and I really needed to make this work, and that's why, when you take time with the person that you get started in the business and you write down, I do what, like an interview. I want to know everything about what is going to make that person motivated to, get up in the morning and, make those phone calls and, introduce me to new people. But if you don't do that, you don't have any leverage in the sense of when they have that down day. And that's why, it's so important to know your new person, your distributor, because they become like family, their success. It's like, being a mom, I love this business so much because, watching people have success, you get that pride. You love seeing people's lives change. So I would say, one of the most important things is to get to really know your new distributor and, have that relationship with them to help them through the tough times.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Sherry, I've just joined your business. What should I avoid in that first week?
Well, avoiding negative people, because
the dream stealers.
Absolutely, and they're out there, because there's a lot of people that, gotten into this industry before and they didn't have success, so they knock it. And I always ask a person when they say, I didn't have success, I ask them, what kind of upline support did you have? And what was the company? Because there's a lot of companies out there that give our industry a bad name. So, once I know that, and if you don't know those answers, go to your upline. They do, and they can help you through that.
All right. Well, let's get back to Adam Vincent Gilmer to basically give us a summary here. And, everybody on episode 49 here has talked about the importance of having contacts, about the importance of coming up with a list of business builders. And obviously that's essential. I love what Sherry says, if the people, your immediate list fail, you want to have an extended list so you're not going to give up within the first week. Now, I'm going to put Adam on the spot. Adam, you've been in your current business for quite a long time, but you had to start with your first person. So Adam started with person number one. I'm just curious, how many people do you have in your organization after you just started with one?
Well, it's grown to over 200,000 people now, which is amazing. You start to take a look at it, and customer base is larger than that. But Gene, I remember when I started that person's taking a top position on either the left-hand side of my business or the right-hand side of my business. And inside the planner, there's a section there that is just for the people to contact every day. And I make it very, very simple. With Sherry Tree's bank system, I changed it in the planner to be BANK. But just to simplify it for everybody, there's a specific section in the planner that talks about A-type personalities, Bs, Cs, and Ds. A-type personalities, like all these people that are on the show here today. Okay, they know what to do, they know how to take action, they know how to recognize an opportunity, they're already successful, been successful, and they've been in the industry before, and they know exactly how to get going. Those are the best people to go after in our industry, and you should be contacting people like that all the time. Those are the what I call those the A's, people like ourselves that are going to go out and make it happen. Then the B's are people who are kind of like, they're good employees, but they want a better lifestyle. Maybe they want to, travel more. They want to maybe break away from being an employee. That's a good B personality. A C personality is somebody who just want to be a customer, right? They just want to try the products. Hey, I'll try this. I'll try that. I, want to lose some weight. I want to look better. I'd like to have better, product or ingredient going into me so I get a better me. And then the D's, and all of you have one of these. The D's are people who are just kind of like, life is beating them up. They haven't had really a second chance at life to make it happen. But because you've got this incredible opportunity, you want to put that opportunity as a gem in front of them to see if they will come out of the D, move to a C, B, or an A type personality. And by doing that, I don't want to say every single day, but being conscious of those kinds of people that you're looking for every single day. In the current business, I've sponsored 223 people into the business. Now people say, oh my gosh, that's a lot of people. Say, well, listen, it is, but really it isn't. What I mean is, we're selected. Actually, in the last person that decided to come into the business decided to come out of retirement, and she's on the panel here, and she's a rock star, making it happen and moving her business up the ranks really, really quickly. The question comes down to is, are you serious about working your business? Because if you're not serious about working the business, you're not going to have the results show up. And as you can tell, the people that are on this panel are very, very serious about, hey, we're going to make our businesses work, happen, and not just that, help others do the exact same thing. And after all, that's what the direct selling network marketing is about. It's not so much what you do, it's what others do as they're going after their goals and their dreams.
Fantastic panel, fantastic episode. Now, coming up on our next episode 50, we're going to start off with a phrase that's, it's so old, but it's applicable today as it was when the person, whoever invented it. And it goes something like this: people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And in our next episode, we're going to talk about prospecting versus puking. Don't worry, it's not going to get messy. In the meantime, as always, to go to Adam's website, 8020-365.com, order your daily planner. It's about $1 a day. Now, if you're listening in one of our 26 countries around the world, the Philippines, Czech Republic, Russia, Italy, United Kingdom, Africa, South Africa, Italy, Canada, United States, we're now up to 45 states in America. If we can't ship it to you, you can download it online. We can get it to you. It's easy, but it's $1 a day, US. Now, if that's too much for you, you're on the wrong podcast and on the wrong video. While you're at Adam's site, as Adam mentioned, go into Sherry Tree's The Bank System. I could talk about this for an hour, but if you go back to previous 4 episodes, you'll learn everything about it. You need to go and check that out as well. It's the language of the business. It's how you crack the code, and it's how to increase your income by as much as 300%. And I didn't make a mistake there, 300%. So on behalf of Kathleen, Sherry, Jeffrey, Adam Vincent Gilmer, I'm Gene Velitis. We'll be joining you in just a few seconds for prospecting versus puking in the direct selling industry. I'm Gene Velitis, and this is Living Your Life Well Planned. 80-20-365, a time management system to help you achieve your goals and dreams in 2021 and beyond. We all have the same amount of time. Our results depend where we invest it. 80-20-365, living your life well planned.